Okay, well, this will be available when it's not live, after we finish the live, and I'm going to go ahead and do this quickly and bring my lovely wife in here to sit by me, and we're going to talk a little bit about Armenia and the trip that's coming up. Have a seat, baby.
Now I'm trying. Give me a second here. Get myself all untangled. Hey, everybody.
Okay, so Chuck, Holton, and Connie here. I got to scoot up a little bit. All right, and if you have questions, please go ahead and ask them. Now, matter of fact, go to my Chuck Holton Locals page. It's not YouTube. It's on Locals.
Okay, you got to find it.
Okay, so we are.
I'm technologically.
We have three trips, actually 4 trips to Armenia planned, and we wanted to give you some tips and hints for how to get there, what happens once you get there, what to pack, things like that. So let me first have Connie give you some hints for the ladies about what to pack and what not to pack.
Okay. All right. So what we're planning is, guys, really the smaller the luggage, the better. Okay. So we're thinking like a carry-on roll-on suitcase, and then like maybe a school size backpack. And if you think you can't do that for 10 days, you really can, because in reality, you can wear things the same, wear things 2 or 3 times. When it comes to the ladies, like for me, I will probably have about 3 pairs of pants, about 5 shirts that are interchangeable, probably a couple pairs of shoes, a pair of walking shoes, tennis shoes that I wear for, running through the airport and hiking. And then I personally like a little bit of a dressier shoe for just walking around, something that's really comfortable that I've worn in and I really love. And when it comes to things like your toiletry items, all your lotions and potions, I always have a bunch of those. Think really, really teeny tiny. Like today I was looking at my little bottle of, primer. Okay, it's 1 ounce. It's a 1 ounce bottle, and you think, well, that's small enough to get on an airplane, right? Yeah, it is. But in reality, that one little bottle lasts me for months, that 1 little ounce. And so really for 10 days, I just need a fraction of an ounce. So one thing that you can do for a travel tip is get these little the little contact holders, squirt some of those in one side of that contact, and that will really just do you for 10 days. And if you do that with all your little lotions and potions, really try to whittle it down, it makes a big difference in what you have to bring. Now, if we're bringing also a carry-on and a backpack, and you're stuffed and you're got everything full, and you think, yeah, but what if I buy something? Here's a trick, okay? Get one of those shopping bags that you get like at TJ Maxx, kind of like those little sturdier little cloth handled shopping bags. They fold up super flat, put it in your bag. When you get done with your trip, if you have something fragile that you want to take on the plane, or if you have bought some, a bottle of wine, and now you're like, how do I get this home in a checked luggage, in a carry-on luggage? You don't. Now your roller bag is going to become your checked bag. And so now you've got a bag with a handle that you can throw in your clothes, or you can throw in something fragile that you bought, and that will become your second item on the plane. And then you can just send your roller bag home as your checked bag, because it doesn't really matter if they lose your bag on the way home, so you sit at home and wait for a week for your bag to show up. It really does matter when you're heading on the trip, because you don't want your luggage lost. And so that way you're going to have some options to rejigger your stuff and be able to get everything home without having to bring an extra huge suitcase or an extra suitcase. So those are a couple things that I would suggest.
Very good. And it's the same for guys. I highly recommend that you look, when you're coming on a trip like this, especially on a group trip where the luggage space is going to be at a premium, it's not about fashion. Okay. You're not there to impress everybody with your great dress. You're there to not be naked. And so it is not a big deal to wear the same pair of pants for 3 days. It's just not, because we're not going to be crawling through the mud. We're not going to be sweating. We're not going to be, doing things that are getting you all dirty. You're going to be sitting on a bus and walking around some monuments and stuff like that. And so I know that most people in America find that hard to believe. Like, what? You could actually wear a pair of pants twice? What am I, a homeless person? No, but when you travel, it's not that big a deal. And I regularly wear the same pair of pants 3 days in a row. And it's not a big deal. That way you can dramatically cut down the amount of clothes you bring. I do change my shirt every day because I do sweat through my shirt, right? So I do change my shirt every day, but you could actually get by with 3 shirts. You wash one, you have one drying, and you have one that you're wearing. And we will also give you the ability to do laundry halfway through the trip, more or less. So you don't have to bring enough for 10 days. You can bring enough for 3 or 4 days and you'll be fine. So what I do is I bring like 5 pairs of socks, which is 2 pairs more than I really need. And I'll tell you why in a minute. 5 pairs of underwear, 5 shirts, and 2 pairs of pants and one that I'm wearing on the plane. So 3 pairs of pants. What that does is it gives me the opportunity to wash one of my shirts or 2 of my shirts, in the hotel. And what you do is you take your shirt at the end of the day, you rinse it out in the sink with a little bit of the soap that's, provided by the hotel. And then you rinse it out, you roll it up in your towel as tight as you can, and then step on it on the floor to get most of the water out, and then hang it up, and it'll be dry in the morning. Not a big deal. But you do not want to bring 7 or 10 pairs of everything you need and 3 or 4 pairs of shoes.
Even ladies.
Everything like that. Look, 1 pair of shoes, maybe a pair of sandals or shower shoes or something like that. But I go for months with the same pair of shoes. You again, it's not about fashion. You're just wanting to have something that's comfortable, that you can walk a couple miles in. And don't, if I see somebody in high heels, I'm gonna go crazy. Especially if it's a guy.
I do bring my wedge sandals. I will for the warmer.
Yeah,
but I can run a marathon in those things.
Right. That's just it. Like you hike in those things. So you don't need to have a gigantic suitcase. We always have people that show up, and one person on the trip has got a suitcase the size of a kitchen table, and you're like, "What? Are you moving to Armenia? Like, what's going on?" Now, when it comes to socks, I've found that if you buy actual 100% wool socks, this is my little secret, folks. You can wear those socks for a week, the same pair of socks for a week, and they will not smell bad. Wool socks do not get stinky. And so, and again, we're not going to be trudging through snow. We're not going to be hiking over mountains.
I mean, we have gotten wet and muddy.
Well, it's possible.
But,
and that's why you have 3 pairs instead of 1 pair. But without a doubt, you can get by on 3 pairs of wool socks for 10 days or a month. I do it all the time. So highly recommend that you look for lots of ways to slim down your luggage. Now, one other thing about pants, a pair of, hello, what happened?
I don't know. Is that your phone? Will you hand me my phone?
Yeah. A pair of jeans will roll up about this big around. A pair of like nylon pants will roll up about this big around. Yeah. So you can save a ton of weight and a ton of space in your bag by getting shirts like this one rather than a denim shirt or something like that. Again, it's not about fashion. It's about not being naked. So we want to just make that clear.
Chuck's motto.
All right, that's my motto.
I'm not naked.
And she looks great, and she's learned to travel with me. So
it's
proof that you don't have to have a ton.
Ladies, if you want a little tip, search for Capsule Wardrobe, a capsule travel wardrobe, and it'll give you tips on how to mix and match things so that your top will match your pants. Because I do tend to like a little fashion things and things like that. I do like to look nice, but I've learned to mix and match and make things work together. And so I can really pare things down. Another thing too, ladies, just on the idea of fashion, I am all about tank tops and shorts when I live in Panama, but I do not travel with them unless I'm going to Colombia because it's the culture there and it's flipping hot.
Yep.
But anywhere else in the world that I travel, I leave my tank tops and my shorts at home. I do not wear them.
Same here. I don't wear shorts when I'm traveling. I have 3 pairs of pants and that's all. I do carry a pair of very light, like running shorts that I can use to swim in if you don't, if I don't want to be too modest. And I can use if I go to the gym or something like that, and they even work as a backup pair of underwear if I don't have a chance to wash underwear. So one pair of like very light shorts, and then you don't have to wear. I would not bring shorts to walk in. It's just you're better off with a pair of pants. They're more versatile.
Yeah, you're gonna feel more comfortable. Also, the last night of the trip, we go to a very nice restaurant. It's like a dinner theater restaurant, and it's not that you have to show up in pressed suit and tie or anything, but you may want to have like ladies a nicer blouse to wear, men a button-down shirt,
right?
Just so that you don't feel underdressed, and you can just wear pants and even your tennis shoes if you want to, but maybe on top you might want to have a little something nicer to wear. So.
And you could wear a button-down any day of the tour. I mean, even hiking up a mountain. I mean, you can wear a button down. It doesn't have to be, too crazy, but yeah. So a collared shirt or a button down shirt, something like that. You could get away with just a polo shirt. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So
you could.
that's fine. Okay. So that's enough about clothing. Now about airfare. When it comes to airfare, what you want to do is, you want to think of getting to Yerevan in two pieces. First, you want to get from your home to Europe somewhere, and then from Europe to Yerevan. If you put in on a search, if you go to Google Flights or if you go to Kayak or something like that and put in a starting point like, Milwaukee and ending point Yerevan, it's going to give you some very terrible options. But if you look for a direct flight from your point of origin, if possible, to somewhere in Europe, and hopefully a major hub, I highly recommend you look at Vienna, Frankfurt, Warsaw, Athens, maybe Madrid. Okay?
Yeah,
but Vienna and Athens are probably the two most popular. And then from there, get a low-cost European airline from there to Yerevan. You'll save a bunch of money that way. That's the way Connie and I do it. And it's always possible for you to leave a couple days early and be on your way
Hang out in Greece.
Yeah, and then go to Greece and spend a couple days in Greece. We've done that a couple times. So it's a lot of fun.
That's fun.
So if you need help with that, get a hold of me and I can kind of give you some pointers. The other possibility is rather than Europe, you could go to Doha, Qatar, or you could go to Dubai. But in Dubai, there are two airports. There's the main airport in Dubai, and there's one called the three-letter identifier is SAW, SAW. That's the one you want. You want to go to SAW because there are low-cost airlines from there to Yerevan. Yerevan's an out-of-the-way place, and so it's a little bit tough to get to, but you can usually find a direct flight to Frankfurt or Vienna, and then have a layover and find a flight from Vienna to Yerevan direct, or from Athens. Aegean Airlines, if you're a United person like I am, Aegean is a Star Alliance partner. You can fly Aegean from the United States to Athens and then direct to Yerevan, and that way you can check your bags all the way through. So that's kind of my preferred routing whenever possible is on Aegean. But
what is it, Austria Air?
Austrian Air comes through Vienna.
Austrian Air, they feed you really, really good. But here's the problem with Austrian Air. If you show up with your roller bag, they are going to say it is too big and it's too heavy, and they will make you check it at the gate. And they will check it through all the way to your destination. So just keep that in mind. And it doesn't, basically you have to have a little tiny briefcase roller bag. It's not really, but
they're pretty strict.
If you have two bags that don't have wheels, like, so you have a backpack and maybe you just have like a duffel bag, they don't count that. So you could get by without.
Right, because it's squishy maybe.
I guess. But if it has wheels on it, I guarantee you they're going to tell you it's too big, it's too heavy, you have to get checked.
That's just on Austrian. Aegean is not bad that way. Yeah. I've only had problem once with Aegean. And but some of the, if you do the thing where you fly on a major airline to Europe and then fly a low-cost airline like Wizz Air, Ryanair, one of those, to Yerevan, the low-cost airline may have different baggage requirements. So you're going to have to leave time on your layover to go out of security, pick up your bags, check them back in on the new airline. And so it's a little bit of a hassle, but not too bad. We do it all the time, and so it's definitely doable. So that's that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, explain to them what days they should be arriving and what days they should.
Okay,
they
so we have the first day of the tour planned as a travel day. So normally what happens is people end up showing up like early in the morning on day 2 of the tour. So if the tour starts May 1st, people end up showing up about 3 o'clock in the morning. For some reason, all the flights, it seems like, that go into Yerevan show up at between 3 and 5 a.m. I don't know why that is.
We've never landed later than that. I don't think.
So if you think about it, May 1st is a travel day, and you're showing up at 3 o'clock in the morning on May 2nd. That's fine. If you happen to leave a couple days early and you get to Yerevan May 1st, that's okay. We'll take care of you. But just realize that the first day of the tour is meant to be a travel day and a rest day. So once you get to Yerevan, the first day we're not doing a whole lot, and because everybody's going to be coming in, we're getting the whole group together. Day 2, we're still not doing a whole lot, but we are going to be in Yerevan, just traveling around the city, looking at some of the sites there.
Yeah, and taking little side trips.
Right.
We'll be grabbing people from the airport.
That's right. And so if you have any questions about that, make sure you let me know. If you have any questions about packing or anything like that, let me know. And that's, you got anything else?
What else are we going to talk about? What we're gonna be doing, I guess, maybe, I don't know.
No, we
pretty much know.
I will send out an itinerary before you show up on the trip that will tell you exactly what we're going to be doing each day, and you'll get a little packet, like email packet of itinerary, packing list, stuff like that. Good things to know. You don't need a visa to get into Armenia unless you're coming from some country besides the United States. Then maybe you will.
You'd have to check because we don't know all that.
There's no COVID requirements. I think that's it.
Oh, I don't know if you want to just make sure there's things that, and we're going to tell you these things in an email, like you're going to need to put Yandex on your phone, which is like a taxi service that they use there, just in case you want to use that. Make sure that your credit cards and your debit cards are good for Armenia. We will help you to get to a cash machine so that you can get some cash out. You're not going to need a ton, but you may need an occasional lunch, snacks, souvenirs. So however much you want to spend extra, that's on you. Any drum, which is their money, any drum that you have left at the end of the trip, I will happily buy back from you because, of course, we're going to use it.
Yeah, we always end up using it. Yeah. So I would plan for maybe just a couple $100s of spending money because we're covering everything once you get on the ground. We will pick you up at the airport whatever time you come in, so you don't have to worry about a taxi or anything like that. And we just need you to send us your itinerary so we know when you're showing up. But once you hit the ground, we take care of everything except for souvenirs and maybe a snack or two if you're out walking around at the days that we have some free time. So you don't need a whole lot. And things are pretty cheap in Armenia. You can take a taxi almost anywhere for just $1 or $2.
And it's easy.
It's super easy.
You don't have to speak one word of Armenian.
That's right. We can. Yeah, so we'll catch up with you on all that. If you have any other questions, send us an email. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
All right, bye. I think what